Hi Sam. Looks like we've got a Pope sale, judging by the title. Hey Oscar, Christopher, Tampa. A Pope sale is quite fitting, seeing as I'm going to Rome. That's quite funny, actually. Yeah, it's definitely a typo. Oh, dear me. Hope everybody's well. I've yet to fire up a pipe this evening. I actually haven't had one since before the Sabbath on Friday. So it's been, what do we know, nearly 30 hours, and we have to put that right before anything else. Hey Gregory, how you doing? So in actual fact, I've got a few pipes which have been sitting in my drawer for a while now. Thank you ACW, thankfully well over it. A little bit of aches and pains still left. I had that last time as well. It lasted for, the aches and pains lasted a long time, and I have my feet are quite painful, which is a bit odd, but which is a bit worrying, seeing as we're going to have to do a lot of walking so when we're in Rome. So I've taken plenty of painkillers. Hey Greybeard. So I've been eyeing up some of my pipes. I've brought some of them out. Some of them you haven't actually seen, or one or two of them anyway, or haven't actually been for sale at all. Some of them have been, but have been taken down for whatever reason. So there are a few interesting pipes here. Idan, how are you doing? Shavua Tov. And I've also been smoking some of them. So as you saw on Friday, this one a bulldog, which I've actually had quite a few people commenting that you can't really call that a bulldog. Well, I can call it whatever I like, but I can call it Scotch Mist if I want to. But it's got foundations as a bulldog. It certainly started off as a bulldog. I then sort of did some stuff with it to elevate it, in my opinion, or to make it different, you know, to give it a design. And somebody said it's more like a skater, which it is. I mean, I get that you got these sort of flowing lines here, which I agree that it does have a skatish kind of look to it, and I'm happy to call it a skate dog. But either way, for me, it's still a diamond shank. It's got a Rhodesian style bowl, even though it's small at the top, but it's still got the tapered bit there, and it's got the flat bit there, and it's got the rings there. So for me, it's good enough as to call it a bulldog. Just love the way the stem and shank worked out. Really, that's what really got me. The stem and shank and this line, which just runs all the way. Love it. So I might fire that one up again tonight. And I've also got my eye on another one of my pipes, which hasn't yet been snapped up by anybody. This is a 4-star I've made a while ago, and I'm, like I was saying the other day, I'm a bit puzzled as to, I can't read the market, I don't know. To me, you know, I would have thought this pipe would have been snapped up. It's a gorgeous egg, cracked egg. It's lightweight, definitely a well-cured piece of briar, and it's got amazing grain. So I might succumb and fire this one up tonight. Like I say, I'm a bit like a candy store owner, dipping into the candy all the time, but you know, first and foremost, I'm a pipe smoker. So that's that one. But like I say, I can't read the market. And hey Bartek, and this one as well. This one is actually on the website. I can't understand why this one hasn't sold, but you know, like I say, you can't read the market, and timing is everything. You just got to get the right guy at the right time on the website to see it. And you know, I've priced them competitively. I think they are. Hey Bob, how you doing? So in terms of pipes that you may not have seen before, this one you may have seen it when I made it, but I didn't put it on the website at all. I didn't put it up for sale at all. This pipe is a wonderful sort of semi-church warden. Again, I'm very tempted to keep it myself, but there's a limit to how many pipes I can take for myself. It's got some lovely grain on it. And the only reason why it didn't go is, I mean, you've got this beautiful multicolored hand cut LCS wave stem with a insert there as well. But there was, if you remember, anybody that saw it, there was a little nick just there right at the tip near the bite zone, and it's not going to impair the smoke in any way, in my opinion. But the nick is there. There's nothing I can do to avoid that. You can see light through it as you look through there, but you know, so I'm going to offer this out. You know, if anybody wants it at a great price, I'm going to offer it. So that's going to be amongst the pipes that are available tonight. And it will smoke just fine. I'm just, you know, I can't sell it as a first, you know, because it's got that issue. Hey Wolf. Any chance it could be people being scared of that certain illness? What are you talking about? Not with you, Wolf. It wouldn't last that long anyway, but I mean, they'd all be cleaned and alcoholed and all of that before they go. But and it was like 2-3 weeks ago that I had it, and it wouldn't last that long anyway, without it being hosted by somebody. Hey Philadelphia. But rather than scaremongering, perhaps you could take down the message so you don't ruin my evening. Or if not, I will. Because there's zero chance of anybody catching it at this stage. You can say what you want in the comments, but I think it's kind of not in the spirit of things. And I'm trying to do a pipe sale tonight, and it's just not helpful. If it was something which was a realistic threat, then I would say yes, and then I would just accept that and not do the sale. But it's really not an issue. It's weeks ago, and as I say, nothing. That illness you refer to would not, without a host, it would not last. So it's really not an issue, and it just would be incongruous right now. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Wolf, and thank you. Thank you for your understanding. And Smarty Bob, you're right too. You're absolutely right. People can say what they want as long as it's not offensive. Yeah, you're quite right. I've asked and he's agreed, so that's all good. There's a bent bulldog. You want me to show it? This one? Are we talking about this one? Or this one? Cheers, Bob. All good. The latter one. So this is a brand new unsmoked Vulcan pipe. Comes in its bag. And there's the original box 2, which I've got somewhere in a box. But you can have that box too, as long as it fits in one of my pipe boxes. They're about £130 new, and I'll take a reasonable offer. As I say, I'm going away in the early hours of tomorrow morning with my wife for a few days, for a long awaited for short vacation. So this is going to be pocket money to be able to spend to have a good time. So wherever goes, whatever you guys buy will help towards that. But if I don't sell anything, that's fine too. It would be really nice to be able to maybe pick up some cigars or maybe a pipe, to be able to say that I bought it in Italy, which would be nice. Philadelphia, hi. This one is a brand new LCS pipe, unsmoked. This is a Christmas 2022, and it actually has the additional, I don't know if it's going to come out on the camera, but it has the additional Christmas tree stamp, which I think this year only 2 pipes got that, so it's pretty, I don't like to say the word rare because but it is only 2 pipes this year. It's a 3-star. And it's got the sort of Coca-Cola colours on it, and it's a lovely billiard, but in the LCS style, so it's a little bit broader at the base. You could call it a brandy. Beautiful, comfortable, a bit on there. I don't mind doing a raffle. I don't mind doing, if you give me a fair offer, I might accept it on the spot. I'd like to sell as many pipes as I can tonight, so as long as I'm not losing money hand over fist, I will agree to good prices. So at the moment, let me see what it's on the website for, and then make an offer on that basis. I think I've actually taken it off. I think I took it off the website. Let me see what it was on there for. Right, so it was on the website for 169. That was pretty. I went through a phase of reducing all the prices, and rather than doing the reductions, I just reduced them to the bare bones. So I don't know if you can see that there. This is my app that I use for the website. So it was 169. That's what it was at. I can show you them all actually, so that you guys can see them. Somebody said something about this one. This is made by Jordan, Prairie Pipe Shop, or Prairie Pipe Smoker possibly. I think it's Prairie Pipe Shop. Oscar 105 shipped. Come on, the shipping has now gone up as well. That's going to cost me £18. I'm going to agree to prices, but the shipping is going to be a flat rate of £18. So you offer a fair price. You know, this originally would have been around the 200 mark. I brought it back down to 169. I'm not going to go 50%. That's just not realistic. He's a part-time pipe maker. He makes pipes every so often. I'm not sure if I'm spelling this right. Prairie Pipe Shop. He's got a YouTube channel. His name is Jordan. I'll take 140 plus the shipping on this one, if anybody wants. 140 for the Christmas 2022 pipe. Okay, that's that one. This one here actually has not been shown at all. I made this one a while back, and for some reason it got put in a drawer and never saw the light of day. This is a straight Volcano. It's a billiard, but with a slightly broader base. No problem, Oscar. Perfectly drilled. Nice grain. Tapered stem. Classic kind of size and shape. That's unsmoked. And this one is the Squat Tomato, the silver band on it, which has got a patina on it already. This one has got really gorgeous grain all the way around. Let's see what I had this on for. Gregory, 1 second. Thank you, Gregory. Let me just see what that works out to in pounds. Works out at 166. So let me just be quite clear with you why I took it off. And why it was originally at a reduced price was because I wasn't entirely happy with the shaping on the shank and stem, but the bowl is beautiful. The shank and stem are all fine. It's going to smoke perfectly well. It's got a silver band on it. It's not, there's nothing wrong with it. There's no flaw or anything. It's just I'm fussy, and I would have been happier with it being better. So that's a very fair offer. It is filtered. It is filtered. If you don't want it filtered, I can put an adapter in. But I put a silver band on it because I made this to be a narrow shank. I put the band on it to make sure that that stays safe. So what is that? 166 plus 18. 166, 186. So what I'll do is I will say $210 shipped. I'll be okay with that. And the shipping otherwise would have been 18, would have been $21.60 the shipping, and I'm giving it that to you for $10. So if you're okay with $210, I'm fine with that. And I'll just, if you just send it as a friend and family payment to LCS Rise at gmail.com. Did we use Zelly? What's that mean? I'm just going to write it down in my book. No, it would need to be a PayPal payment. pen. So if you don't mind, just as a friend and family payment, and just write in pipe number, because it needs to be a private payment, otherwise PayPal gives me hassle. So don't write in it what it's for, just the pipe number. I'll give you the pipe number. The pipe number is 710. So pipe number 710. Just write in the numbers 710 in the comment, and that's it. And then you could message me or email me with your shipping info. So I'm writing it down as Gregory. 710, and I'm writing down in dollars 210, whatever that comes out to in pounds. 210 shipped. Obviously this stuff will be shipped when I get back. There are a few pipes which I need to still ship, which I didn't manage to do in time. I was just short of time towards the end of the week. So whatever's outstanding, I think I've got 2 or 3 pipes which I have to send, and they'll go at the end of next week when I come back. I'm coming back late to Wednesday night, so. Okay, so Gregory, you got that? lcsbrides@gmail.com, and just write the number 710 and email me separately with your shipping info. Okay, so I'm setting that one aside. It's 140 plus shipping. I couldn't do it for that including. The shipping is £18 if it's going to America. The shipping has gone up, and it's crippling, to be honest, the shipping. So I'll say 155, that's knock off the £3. So if you want that 155, let me know, and I'll set it aside. I still have the J Mouton, yep. I will still let that go. But I can't say how cheap that will be. His prices have gone up and up and up. This is a sandblasted Lovat, which I've polished up ready for selling. It's in mint condition. Stem's been polished. I've prepared it to go. Beautiful sandblast with his whatever, his stuff that he puts in the bands there. It's been smoked, but literally a handful of times. It has been smoked. So bearing in mind this kind of thing would be selling for about, realistically now, $450, something like that. So I'll take a fair offer. This is made by Jason Mouton, who's going onwards and upwards these days. It's really hard to say how Brexit has affected. For me, it's really about my costs. Brexit has really affected my costs more than anything else. I got a shipping of stuff in the other day, and the tax and customs and excise cost me £120. The order value was about, I don't know, maybe £600. So it's 20% basically. $187 US, but send it to me as pounds. So when you get the option to click how to pay, send it as pounds, because I don't want to have to start losing money again on the exchange. So if you're okay with that, to send it as, what did I say, 155 shipped. I'll write you in. Yeah, you okay with that? 155 shipped. If you don't mind to do the PayPal as soon as possible. Obviously, I'm like I said, I'm flying tomorrow morning, so this is my spending money. Philadelphia Piper. Xmas 22 155 shipped. Philadelphia, when you when you type in, again, friend and family to my email address, just type in the word Xmas22 and nothing else, please. Thank you, Gregory. Oh, it's you. Okay, now that I see your surname, I recognize. I wasn't sure which Gregory it was, so let me put that in. Thank you very much, Gregory. So I'm sure I've still got your address, but email it again just to be sure. Excellent, thank you. Okay, so Philadelphia is 155, Gregory is... Okay, so that's... let's put this one away. No worries, Bull Moose. Right, so who wanted to talk about this? Yeah, ideally, if they did some kind of customs agreement, it would certainly make life a lot easier. But I think we're going to just... I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, that's correct, Philadelphia. I think that it wouldn't surprise me if they wait for the results of the next elections, although this is just my own personal musings, if you like. But I don't know. I mean, it would be very hard to imagine that, let's say, a new government came in 18 months, I don't know, say it went to Labour, and they decided to go back in. You know, I can't see Europe jumping through hoops to allow us to get back in, because you can't have this sort of seesaw situation. In and we're out, we're in, we're out. Hey Steve, how you doing? Shabbat tov. Chip. What could I let the Mouton go for? I'll let you start off with a sensible offer, and we'll go from there, Chip. I'll work with you, don't worry. Alright, I think I'm gonna fire up my new escape dog. So, in terms of what I'm taking with me, it was really hard to decide what pipes to take. I have to keep... we're not taking any cases, we're just taking backpacks. So I have to keep it really quite small. So what I've decided is just to take pipes to smoke, Orlik golden sliced, and vanilla roll cake. So to that end, I'm taking 3 pipes, taking my rosebud, taking my 626, and I'm taking my shotgun for the vanilla roll cake. And that's it. And I'm taking a baggie of each. And that is it. I originally said that I was gonna take this one with and smoke it and get it broken in, but I figured that while I'm out there, I'm gonna want to have pipes that I've already broken in properly, so I've decided not to take it in the end. Thank you, Philadelphia. No. Come on, realistic. You know what to offer, Chip. Don't play the amateur. You're a pro. You know what it's worth. And you definitely know what it will be worth as well. He's going up and up. What's the 2 most right pipes? I don't know what that means. Oh, the 2 pipes on the right. That one is this one you're talking about, or those ones there? I assume you're talking about this one. So this one is an LCS which has been smoked a few times. This one is my first attempt at doing a splice, which isn't perfect, hence why I didn't put it up for sale, but now I am putting it up for sale. It's really gorgeous grain, a nice sort of an acorn shape with a chunk bitten out for the plateau. Really interesting design, lovely grain, and a nice ebonite shank and stem adornment. The bulldog I put in the drawer earlier. This one here? Alright, Chip. No worries. So you don't want to make an offer, another offer. Why it didn't go for sale is because the splice, as I say, was the first time I ever tried the splice, and you can see that sort of line there. It's not perfect. I'm not a woodworker, I'm not a carpenter, so I'm not into splicing, so it was like my first attempt. It's not terrible, but it's just not perfect, and I just couldn't allow myself to sell it as a first. But it's a beautiful pipe. It's lightweight, it's got a beautiful ebonite, unusual color for ebonite. Very, very comfortable bit. It's lovely grain, like I said. It's a lovely pipe. I can let that one go for 140 plus shipping if you're interested. Let's say 135. Hey Alex. Found them. So when I come back, I'll get some of those over to you. Alrighty then. That price won't be after I come back. That price is only tonight because I'm trying to generate some income for my little holiday away. Just to be sure, just to be clear about that. Thank you, Edan. It's good to see you. Hope you're keeping well. Haven't seen you in a while. Oh yeah, that's you mean the squat tomato thing that's sold now? That one sold. That's why it was put in the drawer. No, either way, it's good to see you. You're done. Alright, so the pipes that we have left is this. This is another beautiful LCS Briars, unsmoked. Is actually a 4-star, like a Rhodesian kind of thing, unusually shaped. And what's unique on this one is I did the ring lower down and I left it unstained. I just thought it was a cool look. It's got some really, it's a lovely cross grain block. Beautiful grain. Nice bird's eye on the side. And a hand cut stem with some really lovely markings on it. And we have this sort of semi-church warden still. Another gorgeous pipe. This Stanwell Pipe of the Year, dress version, silver band. The 95 or 96 Stanwell. This one is, the actual date is slightly rubbed out. As far as I remember, it's 95. I had a customer a while back who wanted the 95, and he didn't want this particular version, he wanted a sandblasted version, which I did find in the end. But whilst hunting, I came across this one, so I bought this one as well. Very, very nice condition, really in perfect condition. The stem is really nice and clean. Make me a sensible offer. The bowl is actually really very clean as well. Oh, you got the sandblast, cool. The pipes of the years, the prices have gone through the roof. They've gone ridiculous. I've stopped buying them now. There was a time about a year or two ago I was buying and selling these like hotcakes. You guys, if you followed me, you remember. I've probably had 50 or 60 of these pipes of the years go through my hands. I've got 1 or 2 left myself, and the rest all sold. But I can't afford to buy them now, even because the market's in a funny place at the moment. If you're into, as a dealer, it's in a funny place. So I'm just not really buying up these kind of pipes anymore, unless, you know, if a deal came along, fine. But if I remember correctly, what was it? Yeah, you can see I've had it up previously for £150, and they're higher than that now. And I'll be totally straight with you. I paid 130 for this. I've got it written down here. I paid £130 for that. So I'll take less than that if you want it, but a sensible offer, and I'll may well take it. Ordinarily I wouldn't, but as I say, I'm trying to generate some income for Rome. I could probably find a Stanwell sock as well somewhere. I'll have to have a look. Let me see. So Gregory, can I interest you in that? If anybody's interested, I don't mind doing raffles. If any of these pipes are more interesting than the others, I don't mind raffling off the J Mouton as well. And there's, as I say, there's some unsmoked ones. This one's perfect. There's no issue with this pipe. This is an absolutely perfect pipe. It would be a smoking machine. Volcano. Very nice grain. No issues with that at all. This one is also, it's a 4-star. No issues with this at all. Beautiful ebonite stem on this one. This one's been smoked. This one hasn't been smoked, but does have the issue on the stem. Yeah. Wow, you had a good price. you bought very, very well, but that's going back over 20 years ago. You wouldn't get that deal nowadays, Gregory. But okay, there's no harm in making an offer, but no pressure. The worst I can do is say no. Almost 30 years, yeah. I guess it would be nice to have them in multiple finishes. Have you got it in the smooth as well? In the regular smooth, not the dress. You don't have it in the smooth. Rusticated the smooth cut. Oh, rusticated, not sandblast. Okay. I have to be honest. Oh, you said sandblast before. So is it sandblast or rusticated? Sandblast, right. So I actually like the Stanwells. Their rustication, their regular sort of Sea Rock style rustication is fantastic. I had a 2002 pipe of the year. It's actually the pipe which started my whole fascination with the Stanwell pipes of the year. That was my first Stanwell pipe of the year, and I absolutely loved that pipe. And it's one pipe that I do regret selling. And I actually, even when I sold it, I almost immediately regretted it. And I went and I asked the seller if I could back out, and he said no. Sorry, McPhil. Once it's sold, it's sold. Even if he offered me more, it's done. It's done. A deal's a deal. It's up to Gregory. He can sell it to you if he wants. $2,005, a month ago. Cool. They're good pipes. Anything prior to 2008, and even after that, to be honest. I mean, I've got the 2020 pipe of the year. It's a dusty 2020. Anything in this shop is dusty. This is my 2020 sandblast. Absolutely gorgeous sandblast. I mean, the briar on this pipe is awesome. It smokes very well. I should smoke it more, really. The only difference you really see between the Danish ones and the Italian ones is the silver and the stem. The stem work I feel was better on the Danish ones, and the silver is silver, but it was more elaborate. I found that they had different designs and spent more money on the silver. But I can't fault the briar. The briar is phenomenal. It's a gorgeous craggy blast, and it smokes well. I've got no complaints, really. Maybe the bite zone is not, maybe minimally less comfortable than the Danish ones, but overall they're a great pipe. Yeah, Andrew, I missed that pipe, and I have looked. I did manage to find one. I think I have found one since, but it wasn't the rusticated one. And it was that rusticated one which really, it did it for me. I'm kind of tempted to go into my other pipes and see if you guys are interested, but because I do want to make some sales tonight, but I often regret it when I do put pipes up for sale that I haven't chosen to put for sale, because that means it's a pipe that I really want to keep. But yeah, any pipe that I've made I can make again. Be more than happy to do that. It wouldn't be at that price, but there you go. I don't think I've had a Stanwell that smokes badly. All right, Gregory, thanks very much. Appreciate your participation in your purchase, and thanks for the good wishes. Like I say, I don't think I've had a bad Stanwell. My first ever Stanwell was in the days prior to me smoking filtered pipes, and that was a mini, kind of a small pickaxe. I bought that from the Danish pipe shop, but it didn't smoke well for me. I can't remember now. It's going back years. I don't remember what the issue was. Yeah, the 2020 is the only Italian one that I've got. I did have the 20. Somebody's just sent me an email wanting to know if I've got any hard to find tobaccos, aged tobaccos or bags. I do, but I really haven't prepared any tobaccos for sale tonight. I don't know if you're online here, Mehdi, or not, but yeah, as I say, I don't really have time to start going through all of that now. I've got to get to bed soon, because I'm getting up in 4.5 hours. Leaving the house at 4:30 in the morning. On a normal Saturday night after London Calling, I only have gone to bed about an hour before that, so I want to get at least a few hours in. Thank you, Dan. All the best. Thank you for joining. Nice to see you again. And if you're interested in that, come back to me whenever you've had to think about it. I do need to open some, I need to prepare. So I'm going to leave these on the side. If anybody still wants to talk about any of them, just let me know. I'm more than happy to show them again. But I'm now going to go into normal London Calling mode. So this, I was thinking about taking some Capstan Blue Flake. I've got the ready rubbed, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to stick with the golden sliced and the vanilla roll cake, which I do need to bag up. But when I looked at my jar of Orlik golden sliced, I could see that it's basically empty. There's only a little bit left. There's enough there for maybe 2 or 3 bowls. So I need to open a new tin. So we can do that. I think so, Matt. Hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in ages. So this is a tin from 2022, which I'm not terribly excited about, because I do have some older tins outside in the garage, but I'm not going out there, so it's going to have to be a 2022. Elizabethan mixture. It's not a tobacco that I've really gotten into, so I can't really comment. I've tried it once or twice. I have a few tins of it. I believe I have an open jar of it as well. But actually, the open jar that I've got, it may actually be out in the garage, because I emptied out my jar cupboard to make way for Briar when I moved the workshop in here. So that one may well be outside. But if it is, it's going to have a lot of age on it. It's a little tiny jar, which I would have jarred up a long time ago when I was experimenting with tobaccos. I probably didn't like it at the time, but I really ought to try it again. So there's your belts. You can really smell the difference between literally 1 year and 2 years. This is just a little bit too fresh, but I love these belts. Just check this out. So it's like just over a foot long. And when I jar it, I like to just jar it whole like that for a few reasons. I like to rip off bits rather than sort of cut it and then fold it and stuff it or rub it out. I don't like to do that. I like to take it as it's intended. So the flakes as they are, I just put them in straight like that. And I just rip off bits. And as you rip off bits, slowly but surely, the whole thing then becomes rubbed out, pretty much like the bits that are left in there. But the reason why I leave it whole is because it naturally leaves space around it, because it's all folded over on itself, so you can see the folds and the gaps there. And what some people don't realize is that when you're filling up a jar, what's extremely important is that you allow enough air to remain in the jar. Some people, when they jar up their tobaccos, they jar it up in a way where they literally squeeze in as much as possible into a small jar. Luckily this jar is big enough, but sometimes jars are smaller and you try to squeeze everything in and you end up squeezing it to the extent that there's virtually no air left, and it becomes rock hard inside and there's no air that can get to the tobacco at the bottom, so it just doesn't age. And what happens is it actually can become very harsh. So really important, better to fill up 2 jars than to fill up 1 jar too tight. All right, Matt, thanks very much. Have a good one. So in actual fact, what I ought to do is put the old stuff in the bag. Hey, Steve. So I'll get that smoked while I'm away. I'm going to add a bit more. And hopefully I'll get some jars while I'm out there, some tins. Maybe I'll find some Old Golden Sliced, being Europe, there should be some available. I just need to write the date on there, 22. Alright, so that's the OGS. I don't know if you can you take a lighter nowadays on the plane? You find Peterson rolls to be punchy. That's interesting. I've never really found it to be a particularly punchy blend. You carry the Zippo. So I can't keep it in my pocket. I'm just thinking if I should risk taking one, either keep it in my pocket or put it in my rucksack. At the end of the world, it's not the end of the world if I have to chuck it, I chuck it. But it'd be nice to have one of those with me. I just got 3 more of them. Came in today or yesterday. I was talking about them the other day, so I bought some more. I want to have one of these in the car, and I just put it in my bag. But it's not going to be. The bag's not being checked in. It's just the bag's going to be with me on the plane, in the cabin. So you reckon I should, I'll just put it in this bag and see what happens. Punchy on the retro. Oops, that's no good. Do you remember these bags? These bags were made famous by Mel, Garbage Man Piper. I remember he showed it on one of his, he was giving them away on one of his giveaways. And I like the look of it as a very, hey Thomas, as a very useful bag. So I bought one, and when I go away or travel or anything like that, it is a useful sized bag. You can put it on your belt. It's got the loops at the back, or you can put I put a carabiner thing on it, and you can put a strap on it if you want to. Alright, so I need to remember to put that in my case, otherwise I will not be a happy man. Not sure if I've got a tamper in there. Let's put a tamper in. I need my... Ooh, is that €1? €2. Cool, we got money. Where is my shotgun? I need a cheap tamper that I don't worry about losing. I haven't got any nails handy. I have this one handy, which is my trusty brass tamper, which is the first tamper I ever bought on eBay, and I like it. It's got a beautiful weight to it, but I don't want to take that. I can just, have I got something that I could take with? Anywho, when in Rome, no McPhill. I've had Toscanos before when I was in Venice a few years ago, and I didn't enjoy it, so I probably won't be trying them, to be honest. I actually haven't packed any cigars. Thanks for reminding me. So I recently filled up my Tapador with Quorum Natural. Very nice cigar. I'll take two, because I'll probably buy cigars there. It's Quorum Natural, which is a sun-grown wrapper. Quorum does a shade, which is a Connecticut, and it does a Maduro. And the Maduro I've had years ago. There's a video on my channel about I've just tried the natural, which is the sun-grown, for the first time, and it's actually, for the money, it's a great cigar. It's not going to blow your socks off. There's no real evolution along the cigar. It's a straight linear smoke. The flavor stays the same throughout. There's no changes, no complexity. But the flavor, if it's your type of flavor profile, then it's great as a cheap cigar to take with you, cheap cigar to have in the workshop, while, you know, one that you could put down and you don't worry too much if it goes out and you relight it. It's a very, very good economical cigar, in my opinion. You know, that Tapa, I call it my Tapador. As long as it's airtight, that is my humidor for my New World cigars. My Cuban cigars are downstairs in a humidor. I don't have room in here anymore. I used to have it in here, which is basically a converted wineador, a wine fridge, and that looks after my cigars really well. And that I can have boxes and boxes in there. It's like an under-counter size fridge, you know, so it's got plenty capacity. But I don't usually mix my Cuban cigars and my non-Cubans, because there is a flavor sort of transfer, and I don't like to mix the two. That's just me. I do see some people, I've seen some humidor tours, especially in America, where they mix and match. They have the Cubans and, you know, the ones that have been able to get Cubans. But I prefer not to mix them. You don't have to put the Tupperware container in the humidor as long as you've got humidification in the Tupperware in the container. So what I have is just Bevidas, and they last a long time. The cigars themselves have humidity in them, and they almost act as their own humidification. This one is actually pretty dry, but I might need to replace them. So I've got a 69 one there, which is still wet. That one is pretty dry. So what I do is I've got, maybe I should take some of these that Adam gave me and do a video. I'll wait to do that when I'm here. I don't know how much opportunity I'll have while I'm away. So what I usually do is when they start to dry up, the Bevidas, I put them in my main humidor and I just leave them there. And it might take weeks or months, but eventually they rehydrate. And in the main humidor, I've got one of those tubs with gel, and you just refill it with water, with what's his name water, whatever, pure water basically. So the Bevidas absorb the humidity from there, and eventually they become recharged and soft again. Distilled water. Thank you, Phil. So there we go. So I haven't bought Boveda pack in years because I just keep recharging them. But I have been through a 5-gallon bottle of distilled water. Well, it really depends on how many cigars are in your container, how dry the cigars are, how dry your environment is where you are, how humid it is. If you're in a very dry, yeah, I've seen those, Andrew. Yeah, I've thought about doing that, but I haven't pulled the trigger on those. But it really depends. So in that Tapador there, the big Boveda pack has been in there for years, literally years. But that's because the cigars themselves are quite humid. And once you close it and you seal it, if it's a proper airtight container, then it's kind of in its own sealed environment. So the humidity can't go anywhere. It's only if you open it and you faff around with your cigars and the humidity escapes, then it starts to use up the humidity that's in the Boveda pack. So if you keep the thing closed as much as you can, then you're pretty good to go, and it should last quite a long time. And as I say, the cigars themselves absorb humidity, and they will last without humidification for a while, but they will start to use up their own humidity, which you don't really want to do. You know, people get really what's his name about cigars and they worry about them, but they're actually quite robust. You know, that they're quite hardy most of the time, as long as you don't abuse them. But the key thing is the length of time. You know, if you have your humidor open for a bit, it doesn't really matter. But it's only if, you know, you leave it for weeks on end and stuff like that, they're going to dry out. And once they dry out, you can re-humidify your cigars, but they'll have lost something, depending on how long. If they've been dry for years, then forget it. Rehumidification of completely dried out cigars will not really produce anything smokable, anything that's nice. It could be smokable, but it won't be nice. You're in Kilburn, so I didn't know that. Cool. So the humidity here in the UK and where we are in London is pretty good. It's pretty even, and you can actually leave your cigar out for quite some time and it would be okay. And it's actually we're much better off than a lot of other countries. So if you have a Tupperware container which is airtight and you put say a 69% Boveda pack in there, let's say you have between 10 and 20 cigars, not more, and you have one large Boveda pack, you should be good for months on end. And it's only when you feel that the Boveda pack is starting to harden, then you know you need to replace the Boveda pack. And if you've got no real way to recharge the Boveda pack, it's not the end of the world, because it'll last you long enough, and another one will cost you a few quid, and that'll last you another few months. It's a pretty cheap way to do it, you know. And if you've only got a handful of cigars, buy a smaller Movida pack. You know, that should be fine. Alright, so I'm going to start putting these away. I'll show them as I put them away. That's the Vulcan Rhodesian with a palm wood band. It's got really nice grain. I don't know if it's focusing or not. This Samsung is terrible at focusing. That's the Prairie. That's the LCS Rhodesian 4-star. Another LCS J Mouton. Lavat with I don't know which version of animal had to die for this ring, but it's it's exotic stuff, whatever it is. And it died many years ago, so don't worry about that. A little Volcano LCS unsmoked. And the Stanwell. Alright, that's that. Oh, another LCS there. Super Trooper. Congratulations. Trooper registration. I'm not sure what that means, Phil, but congratulations. Well, don't hesitate to ask McPhil if you need anything else, need any other information. You can email me if you want, or Messenger, IG. Fossilized whale spine. Well, there you go. Oh, there's my pen. Oh, a Sousa Trooper. I didn't know what you were on about there. Hey, Chip. I just put the pipes away, but the J Mouton is still there if you want it. $700. Woo! So is that something you've just bought? That you've registered it? Is that like a pickup truck? Raffle. If there's enough interest for a raffle, I don't mind doing one quickly. Let's call it a 12, so I'll try and get a few hours. Just remembered. Hey, mister. Yeah, I thought it was actually a Freudian slip, but it was very apposite, seeing as I'm heading over to Rome. So I thought we could put the Pope up for sale. How are you doing, Mike? Hey, Thomas. Yeah, all right. I'm heading off for the second time of asking to Rome in 4 hours, 4.5 hours, and was just trying to generate some spending money. So it's gone okay. We've sold 2 pipes. I'd like to sell more, but there you go. You have your eyes on mute. I'm not sure if it's in my budget. What's this rock button price? So there's the pipe again. A very nice Levat. Beautiful sandblast. Smooth rim. Well spined band. I'm sure you will, Philadelphia. Let me see what we can do. It's got to be in the like 210, something like that, dollars region. I mean, I put in the conversion. The figure that I put in comes to $216. mean, I haven't committed to that price, but that's the figure that I put in. What I would say is this: if you were to buy it now, I would go to 240 shipped, 240 US, which works out at £200. So I'd like the money in English though, so £200. But on my converter, it comes out to $240. So for £200, you can have it shipped. Okay, so at the moment I'm charging £18 for shipping. So you're essentially getting it for £182 plus shipping. So there you go. That is my offer for tonight. After tonight, it will not be the same. And it's literally just the last few minutes because I must get some sleep. I'm getting up in 4 hours and 10 minutes. But Chip, please don't feel pressured, don't be forced into it. And as well-meaning as everybody is, I don't want you to feel pressured. I don't really have time to do a raffle right now. I would have done it earlier on. And if I do a raffle, I'd want more money. I'm doing this as a prize for Chip, but as a raffle, I'd probably be wanting maybe 15 spots at $20. I'm not sure what that works out to. Cheers, Philadelphia. Yeah, so it works out to about $300 all in. That's no worries at all, Chip. Seriously, I don't want you to feel pressured in any way, shape or form. You haven't taken up my time, don't be silly. We're chatting. This is my either the second or third bowl in this pipe, and it's smoking pretty well. Still obviously needs to be broken in. I've had a few comments on the video, people saying that it's not really a bulldog, but you know what? It's a stylized bulldog. People get a little bit antsy about stuff like that. It's not a traditional bulldog, they said. It looks more like a skate. Those things are all true. It's not supposed to be a traditional bulldog, but it's enough of a bulldog for me. It's got a diamond shank, it's got the Rhodesian bowl, albeit a shaped one, but for me it's a bulldog. It's an LCS bulldog. Sign of age, you've got to take your pills. Yeah, we had a look at that. It's actually quite expensive. There's two options. You can get it for 5 hours, the golf buggies. You can get them for 5 hours, or you can get them for 10 hours. 5 hours, if I was doing it sort of a tour for a day, 5 hours might be okay, but yeah, I look at my parents, Phil, the amount of pills they take. I mean, if I was to shake them, they would rattle like a baby's rattle. Unbelievable. They have these, they call them Dosset boxes, and they've got an amazing service from their pharmacy in that rather than you getting all your pills in your bottles and your foil things you've got to push out, you get it already separated by day in this compartmentalized container, and it lasts a week, I think, and each container is split into 4, so that if they're taken 3 or 4 times a day, So the top one in the morning, I think there's probably about 10 pills in that, and then there's another couple of pills in the midday, and then there's another one in the afternoon, and then another big bunch in the evening before they go to bed. It's such an amazing service, though. It's a big responsibility for the chemist, though, having to organise that for all of their customers. But both my mum and my dad have got those Dosset boxes now, so they don't have a headache of having to check exactly which ones they need to take every day. They just know that container I've got to empty, and then the next one, and so on. It's a great service. I hope the day that I need to have something like that is a long way off, if at all. Yeah, I get that as well. Forget what I've taken and what I haven't taken. A fill caddy, yeah, a pill caddy. It's that kind of thing that they get where everything is already pre-done when they get it from the pharmacy. It's an amazing service, really. But I'm not sure if I'll do the golf buggy. You know, it's not the cheapest thing in the world, so we'll see. But we might do it. We've heard of Mr. Brog for sure. There was one guy who I had quite a lot of his pipes, and his name was, he was on eBay for quite some time. I'm trying to remember his name now. A Polish pipe maker. Something Breyer. His company name was something Breyer. He had like a beige brown logo kind of thing. His pipes are actually great. I bought loads of them, and I gifted them, a lot of them away. I had one which was, I think Izzy, Happy Go Lucky Piper has one of them. It was like a volcano, a tree stump, kind of a tree bark rustication. Really lovely pipe with a nice swirly yellow stem. I remember that one. And I'm pretty sure Izzy's got that one. I think, I won't have it on here, I don't think. I haven't installed eBay on this phone yet. I wonder if it's on my saved things on eBay. House of Pipe, it was called. I have got it on my saved. He's got nothing for sale anymore. It was called House of Pipe. And he made really nice pipes. I sent two of them to the two girls. What were their names now? Years ago. They've stopped being on YouTube a long time ago now. Stutter, Cynthia and Susan. God, can't believe I remember the names. You guys remember Stutter? Cynthia and Susan, two girls. We used to have a channel. I sent them a couple of them. Yeah, he made nice pipes. It's a shame he's not on there anymore. I don't know what kind of venues we're going to go to when we're there. We've done a little bit of research. We're only there for like 3.5 days. We should be there by lunchtime tomorrow, all being well, and we'll stay, and we're coming back on Wednesday night, so we should have 3.5 days at least. And what we've been told is where we're staying is right in the center, and pretty much the whole of ancient Rome is in walking distance. So the Colosseum, the Parthenon, the various different places that are all famous they're all in walking distance, and apparently the Vatican's also quite close. So a lot of the stuff that people want to see is pretty much close by. So if we take a buggy, what we might do, these buggies, some of them have got built-in iPads, and it just takes you on a tour. So you can go to places, you stop off and it tells you where to go, and it lasts about 3 hours, but you can go at your own pace. So we might do that, and then maybe just, stop off, browse around for a bit and carry on, and then maybe one of the other days come back and spend more time at any of the ones that we fancy. But we're really going with an open mind. We haven't really planned a proper itinerary or anything. The only thing that's on my itinerary is to find some tobacconists. And my wife knows that. Right, it is now 12 o'clock. It's the witching hour. I need to go to bed. It's 4 hours to go. It'll take me a while to fall asleep. So I'm going to wish you all well. Thank you for joining. Thank you to those who have bought a pipe. Scramble and relax. I'll be relaxed when I'm in Rome. Let's hope I can get some sleep right now. I was very tempted to smoke this pipe tonight. I resisted the temptation, but I may well still succumb to it when I come back. I like this pipe. It's my pretty. Yeah. DJ Neda Valencia Ruta del Bacalao. Now that's a title. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Bartek. Let me say my goodbyes. Thank you, Beowulf. Thank you, Bartek. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, DJ Neda Valencia Ruta del Bacalao. Thomas, Christopher Cheney, Philip, Oscar, Andrew, Bullmoose, McPhil, Lurker Troy, Thomas, Bullmoose, Yakiv. Hi, Yakiv. Didn't see you there. Chip, Philadelphia Piper, Alex, AMR Bryce, if you're still there. Mike, Briar Blues, and everybody else, thanks very much for joining. I wish you all well, and next time, hopefully, we'll be in Rome. Maybe I'll do a live, we'll see. Depends what the reception is like. I should have thought that in Rome Centre there should be decent reception, so hopefully there will be. Thanks, everybody. Catch you on the next one. Arrivederci.